of my friends who was a theatrical artist by the names of Moses Nachintiji, aka Radio. In his song titled Money, he said, "Money has got sound of a silent that speaks inside of you. And when you got that money in abundance, people start depending on you." But listen to what 1 Timothy 6:10 is speaking about money. "For the love of money is a root of all kind of evil." You may wonder, I should be giving my testimony, but you may wonder if I start with that opening phrase. But my testimony is all lying on money, how money can be a source of evil that can hinder you to see the light that God meant us to see. Good morning, dear brethren. I'm by name of Nuwabeine Allan. I was born and raised in Ntungamo, that is southwestern Uganda. As you can hear my accent. But I want to tell you that that accent is not that we don't know English. Or we don't know how to speak, but we are proud of where we are from. Because when I speak that accent, everybody can know that he is from Western. Yes. That is it. So, how I came to see the light. I was born in a family where money was not a big problem. To link up with my opening phrase that I used. When I was growing up, money was not a problem because I attended good schools. But listen and know how this money caused me evil. I could pay school fees in time, but on top of that school fees, it was much money. They could give me money for food, as I could not eat posho. For me, I don't eat any other kind of food apart from matoke. So they could give me money, like 500. Instead of putting that money in a hotel to get food, I could deposit that money in a bar. Imagine it, the money meant for food. Then I have to take that money for a bar. Then I was having a permission that could allow me to go out of the school gate at lunch and even in the evening. So I had we were 4. Your decimal and my decimal, we were all from Christian families. Because I remember one of our leaders of 4, the gang group, we could call ourselves Good Life group. We were very notorious that even that you have come today in the school, you could raise our names. You could be knowing us just by one day. So we were 4, both of us were from Christian families. You see? So I could bank that money in a bar. That I could go there in the after lunch, we take the nani. Sorry. We could call it airtime. So we could tell ourselves, now, let's go for airtime. So we could take that of lunch to deduct on my money that I deposited there, and even in the evening, we could go there to get that airtime. When I talk of airtime, I mean liquor. I don't mean airtime that goes on phone. So that's how I use that money. Secondly, I studied senior 2 in 3 schools because of that habit. Because they could chase me in that school, I go in another one, because the money was there. I could go in another school, they could chase me, and finally they could say, no, I'm tired. Can you just leave and sit down, you leave studies? But my mother loved me so much. I remember her by the way. So she told me, no, she should not stop. Let him continue. So you could go on paying for me, but they could chase me from this school to another one. I remember I was in senior 2. I was in senior 2. We did a strike in that we were 4 people who were very common in the school. And we were arrested. Do you know being picked like a house fly? Not knowing anything, because you put your airtime, you know nothing. So we were picked and put in jail. I don't even remember. The Mzee sold his cow to secure me from the prison. That was senior 2. And during to the end of senior 4, I never revised for final exams. Again, we did a strike. We could prepare ourselves. Prepare, I don't mean preparing to get certain material that we're going to use. No. Go and load airtime as a kind of preparation, how to invade these people. So I was caught when I was putting administration block on a brace. We were taken. By then, we were remaining like 1 month to reach at the end of senior 4. We were put in the jail, and I could come from the prison to do exams, because you could hire a prison officer at 50,000 per day. So the period we spent doing exams, we could come with our prison guards. We were 4. You could pay him every day 50,000. So imagine the whole month that I finished doing exams, my parent could pay 50,000 per day. So, but by God's grace, as you know that he doesn't want a sinner to die before he repent, he gave me his mercy. I went on, I finished senior 6. Then the habit increased when I reached 30. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I'm holding a bachelor's degree in mass communication, of which I obtained in 2019 from Kampala University. So when I reached at university, it worsened, because I was free to do whatever I want. By God's grace, I was offered a job when I was in second year to work as communications officer for a certain company. It was working under National Water and Sewage Corporation. It is called Sogea Satom Uganda. So I was given a job as communications officer. Remember, they give you a car, a pickup car. They could pay you good money. So I could attend campus when I was being driven, when I was having a driver. But I was paid good salary. But brother, I cannot tell you what I used to buy in that money that I was used to pay. Because they kept on giving me a tuition. Remember, the money they pay me, it is for me to enjoy. So I could sleep in the bar and come back in the morning to attend the job as well as attend my campus. By the time they realized that, I started being absent on the job. Then they terminated my job before the due contract, because I was having a contract of 11 months, but I worked for, they were like 5 months. They terminated my contract, but I was finishing. So I finished campus in that way. And when I finished campus, remember I was from a Christian family. I went back home. By that time, we came to stay in Munyonyo. So I was tired of my parents telling me about salvation and Christ and whatever. So I said, no, I'm not getting that life that I wanted here. So I freed myself to go and start staying on the street, because that life I was tired. Remember, everything was there at home, but I got tired of that life. So I said, no, let me try to get myself a good life I want. So we resorted to go to the street, knowing that the life could change. I could get the life that I wanted, because I was tired of my parents telling me, why don't you get saved? So I said, no, let me go to be myself. I went on the street for there were 6 months. And when I reached there, that is where life was very complicated. I started staying hungry, sleeping on my empty stomach. So I decided to be at street. And I remember it was Saturday. I had my alumni of whom I studied with at Kampala University. He used to be a leader in a chapel. He could invite me for prayers, but I could not attend. For us, you could not tell us about your prayers and whatever. Because me, I grew up, like I told you that I grew up in a Christian family. My father could tell me about God and whatever. Then I could ask him, if God is there, why these pastors? Because me, I grew up seeing these church leaders. What a big thing they could own was just a bicycle. That was a sign to see that one is a church leader. So I asked my father, is God really there? If he's there, why don't he remember these people? Because they are totally poor. Then I said, no, God is not there. Because I remember that Saturday, I met a friend of mine who was a chapel leader by the time I studied at Kampala University. and he told me about salvation. I exchanged her with my number because I excommunicated myself from any of my family member. Nobody could be having my number the 6 months I spent there. But I gave that girl my number. We kept on communicating until the time she invited me at her church. I went on that church. At first, I could not understand what she was telling me. It was like a month. We kept on communicating like a full month. And that full month, that's when she invited me at her church. I went there. And when I attended the church service, the sermon was obtained from Psalms. It was obtained in Psalms 10:1, because it pointed on the thing that I grew up thinking about, that there is no God. That Psalms 10:1, it says, for the fools they say that there is no God. So I could consider myself, am I a fool? The degree I'm holding, the family I'm from, the family of money, how can I be a fool? So when he entered on that point that the fools will say that there is no God, I asked myself, for all this wrong, am I a fool? I've been a fool. It is that day that I decided to take Christ as the master of my life. So how I came to know ABU, after spending 6 months on the street, after getting saved on that day, I had my father's number. I went to my brother, staying in the side of Gaba. I went there and asked him, do you have my father's number? Imagine, it's like asking somebody, your wife's number, somebody whom you're staying with. So I asked him for the number of my father. I called him. He told me, please, can I see you before you proceed? I went home, and he read for me. I like that. By the way, I'm not a person memorizing the Bible, but I could memorize that kind of verse from Luke 15:11 to 32 of a prodigal son. That's what he read for me. That you have been prodigal, you have been there, now you are tired. That's what I've been waiting for. Because they could humiliate him, but he could tell them that I know that boy of mine, one time he's my testimony. And I thank God that now I'm his testimony. Because he could tell people that if you just leave him, they could tell me, why are you proceeding him into studies? He could tell them, no, wait, he's my testimony. So I thank God that his prophecy came true, that now I'm his testimony. Because once I was lost, but now I'm found. So he read for me that kind of verse from Luke, of which I like so much. I don't memorize Bible verses and whatever, but that one I could remember. Because he was happy, that's when I gained prominence and getting back my family members on that day. So I switched to go and see him. I met him, we talked, and he told me, I want you. I didn't get opportunity to serve God because I spent much of time in army. He's an army man, the one of the guerrilla war veterans. And he told me, I didn't get that chance to serve God, but I was seeing you that one time and one day you will serve God. He told me, go and proceed with studies. From that time, I want to reach on the point of how I came to know ABU. So he told me that I want you to serve God. Please, can you go and study that you can serve God? I told him, yes, I can. I still have that guts to go on. So he contacted one of our village church priests. He told him that I should come to ABU. I was already admitted at UCU, because I was already admitted at UCU. But when this priest told him that he should come to ABU, I remember it was weekend. I waited to be on Monday. Then on Monday, I traveled here. And when I reached here, because I used to see many students in the compound as I was at Kampala University, because we could teach even using a microphone. So when I reached here, I asked myself, is that a school or a place where, I'm sorry to say so, but that's what I thought, that it is an orphanage where they keep. Because I could, the day I came, it was at 11, but I could see nobody in the compound. So I asked myself, is that a school? I went in that office of PRO. I was with my brother, and he told me, yes, it's a school. Because remember, I wanted to take masters, in that I had a bachelor's. So when I reached in his office, I asked him, do you have masters? He told me no. I said, I'm not a class of here, so I should go back to UCU. I picked the application form, he gave me an application form, but I took it, but in myself, I could not join this campus. How can I do a repetition of bachelor's? So when I was still at home with my brother, our village priest called me again. He told me, have you joined ABU? I told him, no, I'm not going to join ABU because they are not having masters. Then he told me, I think you love what you want. I told him, yes, I love it. But if you love what you want, I urge you kindly to love ABU. Because you join UCU, but I cannot recommend you to join UCU. It's better if you join the African Bible University, because everything they do, their foundation is on the Bible, because you acquire that knowledge of which you want. So if you love what you want to become, you'd rather join ABU. I said to myself, should I join ABU? Then I came back, I dropped the application, and when they told me that I have to do interviews, so my worst subject, it is mathematics. So I asked myself, are they going to give me an interview of mathematics? So let them give me that interview. I failed that interview, then I get where to stand, that I can tell my people that I failed mathematics, not to join ABU, because I never wanted it. But unfortunately, they gave me other interviews. I waited to give me math, they never. And on the next day, the PR called me that you are admitted, your request has been granted. I came here, but it was not my wish. But I think it was the power of the Holy Spirit. As one of the theologians called Lewis, C.S. Lewis, he expressed it and said, I believe in Christianity, and I believe that the sun has risen, not only that I see it, but with it I can see the light. I thank God that me who was once a blind man, now I can see the light in whatever I'm doing and in wherever I go. So my future plans after here, in that I told you that I grew up in a Christian family. I know the other 4 guys I told you about, we were all from Christian family. So I want to put my center on those people who are coming from Christian families. I am planning to establish a facility that will be basing on theology, to teach those young people from Christian families to acquire knowledge about God before they proceed to go high. Secondly, the time I spent on the street, I've already started that because through my capability, I'm working in the office of the National Chairman for NRM as third deputy, mobilization and campaigns. So through that capacity, I have acquired like 400 jobs for those guys staying on the street. So with that, I am prepared, and I will go on to help those people who are staying in the street, also to evangelize to them about the word of God. With all, I thank you, and thank you for listening.